Hi Aries, I'm lachondevi with Power Life Hypnosis, and this is your mid-August 2019 love and romance reading. As always, thank you to all of those who thumbs up and like my readings. Thank you to all of those who comment and share, and thank you to all of my returning viewers and my returning subscribers, as well as a big thank you to all of my new viewers. Welcome to my channel, and a big thank you to all of my new subscribers. I appreciate the support from everyone. To book a private reading with me, visit my website, powerlifehypnosis.com. You can also book a reading with me through the description box below. If you would like to know or confirm who your future partner is, your future long-term partner, when you'll meet your partner, where you'll meet your partner, what your partner will look like, how to recognize your partner, and more, as well as a full reading as to how to align yourself with your future partner and your most ideal, fulfilling romantic relationship, book a future partner reading with me through the description box, or again at my website, powerlifehypnosis.com. If you have an iPhone or an iPad, you can contact me at any time through the free Instant Go app, instantgo.com/powerlifehypnosis. And this is best if you would like to receive any quick predictions or guidance. Give me a message or send me a message and I will respond within 24 hours. Also, you can go ahead and check out my new Instagram at Power Life Hypnosis. Go ahead and follow me. I am posting weekly, daily, weekend fortunes, messages, guidance, and predictions. So again, go ahead and follow me on Instagram at Power Life Hypnosis. So of course, this is a general reading. Messages may or may not resonate. If they do not, you can check your moon and rising sign videos. Those messages may. You can also check your sun, moon, and rising for a more complete picture of your love life during this ending portion of August. All right, so I am doing this reading a little differently today. As you can see, I have been pulling cards for the prediction. I did go ahead and pull the overall energy as well as your guidance cards so we can save some time. So let's go ahead and get started on our reading, Aries. So first off, before I began your reading and I was focusing on your energy, I got a message of not giving up or keeping your heart open. Now, when it comes to the overall energy of your love life during this time, I have here the cards of rigid and differences. Rigid and differences. So, Aries, it appears as though when it comes to love and romance, you may not be seeing eye to eye with someone. You may not be seeing eye to eye with someone. And I'm even feeling like some of you may even be feeling, how can I say this? Kind of alone, in that you may even be looking at the opposite gender or the same gender or whoever you date, whoever you're interested in, and kind of grouping them in a category. Does that make sense? So that may not be a message for all of you, but an example of this would be they're no good men or they're no good women. So we are putting people in a category based on our personal previous experiences. So I'm feeling as though some of you may be experiencing that at this time, or you have been recently. So I do have, once again, the card of differences. So this is when it comes to romantic interest, when it comes to a romantic partner, or again, as we spoke about in general, not seeing eye to eye. Okay, feeling like you guys are apples and oranges. Okay, and it appears as though this sense of separation or lack of similarity or distinctness, you know, I'm feeling kind of a you versus them energy as opposed to an all-inclusive. So I'm feeling kind of an us versus them, or me versus them, or me versus him, or me versus her kind of energy, a separation here. And it appears as though, for some of you, this may cause you to put a wall up. I'm feeling as though some of you may have a wall up because you're not feeling connected. You're not feeling aligned with someone or whoever it is that you choose to date. So I'm hearing now's the time to be more flexible in your approach or the way you perceive things. There may be a need to practice flexibility or be more flexible. Because say, for example, we've been hurt or we've been, wronged. To close our hearts off and to separate ourselves from another, or to be overly cautious, or I'm never going to love again, all those sorts of energies. Those separate us even further from our desires of love and romance that we all have as a human need. So it may be useful during this time to allow yourself to be a little bit more flexible and be more open. And what I'm also hearing is, when it comes to love and when it comes to life, there are times when we have to go into situations, especially when it comes to connections and romantic relationships, willing to let our hearts break. Knowing that maybe that's a possibility. It's happened in the past. Maybe it's a possibility for the future. However, that's the risk that we take when it comes to love and romance and being vulnerable with another person. So vulnerability may also be key or significant in some way. So we'll see more so how these energies play out as we go forward with this reading here. So let's go ahead and go into these predictions. So I have been shuffling some cards here. Okay. And I did get a bunch of cards come out. So let's see here. All right. Got a lot of cards, but this is just what came out for you guys. So it looks like during the ending, so I may not, because I have so many cards in front of me, I may not show all the cards, so just roll with me on this, you guys, all right? So it appears as though, first off, the things that are sticking out to me are, there may have been some challenges, there may have been some burdens within your love life. Some of you may even be feeling like you were robbed of something, oppressed in some way, sacrificed your time, your love, your energy, your effort with someone who may have been deceitful or manipulative, with someone who may have only had their best interests in mind, not necessarily yours, which works for them. Because if you are willing to give and give your time, energy, and effort, and they are willing to take, it's a perfect dynamic. It's a perfect dynamic. And really, that is the foundation for codependency. That is a foundation for codependency. I'm going to write that down so we can remember that. I feel like that's going to come back up. So we have someone here who was keeping things hidden, keeping things secret, only looking out for themselves, keeping relationships secret, keeping addiction secret. I just heard gambling addiction. I don't know where that came from, but that may be one of you, all right? So this situation has caused some challenges here. And it appears as though this may have also led to a separation, a departure, a decision to leave this connection. Now, this connection, I feel, for many of you, was based on physical pleasure, fulfilling physical needs and desires. And many of you may have realized that or recognized that. That kind of came to light. And that may also have, well, really I'm feeling as though it's mostly this deception, this dishonesty. You may have been dealing with someone who comes in quickly and leaves just as quickly. Someone who wasn't stable, who didn't stay. So this can manifest in many different ways, as this is a general reading. So for some of you, it could have been somebody who just came and visited. There were only visitations and hookups here and flings. For others of you, it could have been a short-term relationship, even if it was, a few years or something, just something short-term. But I do feel as though this situation did not fully manifest or come together. Because again, somebody was keeping something. Somebody may have been dishonest. And it may even be that they desired more of an open relationship. Or they wanted options. Now, that being said, during this time, during the ending portion of August here, you Aries, you are figuring out the solution here. Perhaps so you could do things differently, or so you can go a different direction when it comes to your love and romance and romantic relationships. You want to go in a different direction because you want something that is long-term, stable. And you want to know how to make that happen during this time. So you are coming across, you are figuring out, you are finding out the solution, the answer, the cure to this situation, and you are receiving it. So you are bringing about relief after these difficulties. It's like the sun is setting again. You are becoming, this is a key situation, a key person, a key opportunity here to delve into how you may have found yourself in this kind of situation. And what I mean is, when it comes to romantic relationships, and in this case we're speaking of ones that may not have been fulfilling or not have manifested in the way that we truly desired, even ones that were toxic or challenging. When we find ourselves being deceived, or when we find ourselves in challenging, again, in toxic relationships that are less than fulfilling, fully fulfilling. It's very easy to place the blame on the other person, place the blame on the other person when, yes, the other person, maybe their actions or whatever it is, yes, they may have contributed to your feeling of whatever it, the way you feel. And what we often fail to do is to go inward, look at ourselves, look at the trajectory of the relationship and the connection, how things evolved. We go back, sometimes we fail to go back and reflect on, okay, did I see red flags? Or we fail to reflect on, or sometimes we don't even want to admit them to ourselves when we later look at the situation, because we don't want to feel bad that maybe we didn't look, or, you know, maybe we were blind, or, you know, we can tell ourselves stories. And that happens so often when we are attracted to someone, or when we want something, especially when we are like love addicts or relationship, you know, we want relationships, or, you know, we have that fairy tale kind of love idea. We may fail to acknowledge red flags, or, you know, see things as they really are, because we may look at situations through rose-colored glasses, because we are so focused on that happy ever after, or that happy ending, or, you know, things are going to work out. Or even if we're feeling a lack of love or unlovable or anything like that, because we want that so bad, because we want the love or the attention or anything so bad, sometimes we fail to look at red flags. Now, aside from that, oftentimes we fail to, not that we fail to, but sometimes we choose not, I don't want to say we fail to, but we choose not to acknowledge our role in the unfortunate circumstances that unfold. Sometimes we fail to look at our role in that. Did we miss the red flags again? Or did we accept less than we deserved? Or did we, you know, sell ourselves short? You know, there's always something. There's always a way that we contributed to the situation, because it takes two to tango, right? There's no one person, you know, relationship. It takes two. Two people are in a relationship. So we find ourselves in unhealthy or toxic or unfulfilling connections or relationships. The best thing that we can do is take a step back and take an objective, not a subjective, an objective look at what's the common thread among these relationships? What's the common thread? How am I contributing to this? What am I doing to land myself in these patterns, in these routines, in these relationships that look the same with different faces? So I'm feeling as though, Aries, during this time, you are going to be experiencing some enlightenment, some solutions, deeper awareness. You may even become more aware of you, those that you date, and the differences, and choose to go in another direction. Now, an example of this is, and this is just an example that came to mind. Say you like a particular type of person that looks a certain way. Or say you like a particular type of person with a certain background, or, you know, just something. And when it comes to dating, you focus solely on those types of people. And as things unfold, it never works out the way that you want it to. Well, then we can look at this situation and say, how can I do something different? Maybe I should step outside of that preconceived notion of this person who looks just like my mother or father, who's just like my mother or father, right? Because I always say we choose people, we tend to choose people who are like our parents or our caregivers, or, you know, something like that. So let me choose something different. Let me make another decision. It appears as though you are going to be gaining deeper wisdom, awareness, maturing through this situation, learning, figuring out how to make things happen for you. And I'm feeling as though this transition is going to happen quickly. It's not going to drag on. So you're going to be on it. Again, allow your wall to come down. Allow your wall to come down, because you can't bring anybody in if your wall is up. If you're so protective of yourself. Now, it's good to be protective of ourselves and our hearts, but not so protective that no one can come in. Also, with this rigidity card, like we were just speaking of, sometimes we like a certain type, or we're attracted to something, or something feels familiar to us, so we tend to follow that. You know, people can come to us in familiar ways, which can attract us. Like if we're used to being love bombed. If we're used to being love bombed, when I say love bombing, I mean someone coming off very, very strong in the beginning. I think I may have talked about this in the last reading. Someone coming off very strongly, giving you gifts. Oh, this is soulmate. Oh, this is perfect. And you guys barely know each other, but we're so swept up, and oh, this may be my knight in shining armor, my Prince Charming. We're so swept up in this person's words and how they're coming across so charming and so strong. And we are reeled in. But really, underneath, this person is so charming and so strong and wants to create this love and come together without really even knowing who we are, and they're professing their love and all this without even knowing us, because it's deception. So whatever it is here that's creating this challenge, which is likely, you know, internal. I mean, really, life is all a matter of perception. So everything's internal, right? As within, so without. So it looks like there are going to be unblockings, or you're going to move on the other side of the mountain. So if the mountain represents blocks, challenges, delays, obstacles, separation, isolation, the great thing is, through your actions, through how you handle yourself throughout this situation, or within this situation rather, it's easy to move around the mountain and get to the other side. So you do have the strength, you have the ability to push through, because you are going to be learning, growing, evolving. So you are going to be pushing through this. And accordingly, there will be some acceleration here, and things are going to move forward again. Okay, things are going to move forward again. And you, excuse me, and you are going to be moving forward towards something stable, committed, fulfilling, mutually loving, mutually beneficial. Okay, some of you may have to date some people. Okay, some of you may have to date some people. All right, may not be the first person, the next person who comes along. And that's another thing that happens when we're like romance addicts, or, you know, we have that kind of fairy tale mind state. When the first person, not even the first one, maybe first two, or I don't know, it's different for everybody. But it's so often that when someone comes along who, you know, we really like or really attracted to, or something like that, you know, very easily we can get attached, and we can fall for the first person again who gives us that attention or love or affection that we feel like we need. And that's also a sign that we need to give more of that to ourselves when we are liable to do that. Okay? All right. So, Aries. Just as we were speaking of, this is an opportunity to heal family issues. Your love life benefits as you forgive your parents. So with this, what I'm feeling is, once again, how we spoke about that codependency, or the patterns that we repeat, or dating people who look just like, or who remind us or treated us like our mothers or our fathers or whatever it is. It's essential to look back at that and kind of reflect on that. Some of you may benefit from looking back at your parental or your early, guardianship, or, those who raised you when you were young, especially between the ages of 0 to 8, especially between the ages of 0 to 8, those who were in your life at that time. Kind of take a step back and reflect on the relationships and connections, and see if you can piece together and put together any similarities. For example, if you're a woman, was your father gone? Or was he away from home a lot? Or, was there separation from your parents? Now, as an adult, do you have a pattern of falling into relationships and connections with those who ignore you or don't give you the attention and affection that you desire? There's similarities. So because every situation is different, really think about it. Really take some time to reflect, because until that is done, we're going to keep repeating the same patterns, the same cycles, and that's just human nature. That's what our brain does, because our brains do what we know to be true, even if they're harmful for us. So this is a good opportunity to reflect on the patterns, on the repetitive actions, on the thoughts, on the similarities. And by doing so, this is an opportunity to free yourself from this. It's time to take back control of your life and take back control of your love life. We can do things on autopilot, and that's really easy. And that's what most of us, of human beings, that's what we tend to kind of do. We kind of do things on autopilot. We identify with the situation and our feelings, our thoughts, and everything, and our patterns. We identify with them and we internalize them, rather than taking a step back and recognizing that we can choose anything that we want. And if we don't want to keep doing this pattern, if we're doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results, and we're seeing that this is not what's happening, that we're not getting different results, the best thing for us to do, take a step back and do things differently, even if it's uncomfortable. We may have to set boundaries. We may have to set boundaries. We may have to really go within and identify what makes us high value partners, so we know what we have to offer moving forward. Something that I just heard. So it's time to take back control of your life. It's time to take back control of your love life. And that has to be something conscious. We have to really make the effort. We have to go through the discomfort. It's not easy. It's not easy to change our patterns, especially when it comes to love, because a lot of fears come up, doubts and worries come up. But as long as we stick through it, only positive things can happen, because what we were doing before wasn't working, right? What we were doing before wasn't bringing us what it is that we wanted. So we have to step outside of our comfort zone, do something different. There it is. There it is. Work on our partnerships. Give your relationships a chance. Work on your partnerships. Give your relationships a chance to thrive, a chance to bring fulfillment, a chance to be healthy and happy and long term, and to bring you what it is that you want. But this is coming through working on your partnership, which first comes with working on yourself and how you go about love and your actions. Making choices that lead to change. Going in another direction. Choose the path less traveled. I chose the path less traveled, and that made all the difference. Take the path less traveled. And that's how you can get around these blockages, things not working out, and things not manifesting in love, things not coming about how you want them to. So it's time to go within, heal those family issues, take a look at them. And it's funny because I was just getting ready to say this, and this is the actual next card. And be gentle with yourself while you're doing that. Be gentle with yourself. We're all doing the best that we can given the tools that we have at any given moment. If we had access, if we knew better tools, if we had better tools to use, if we knew better, we would do better. So be gentle and patient and loving with yourself, knowing that you are doing the best that you could. But now that we know that, we can also choose. We can make the conscious decision to do better. Just saw 30:30 on the clock and 30:33. So you are going to be learning. Yes, I do see a big shift and a big change for you. You're going to be growing. You're going to be learning. You're going to be different in your mind and your way about going about relationships. This is kind of a new season, a new cycle, a new day, a new dawn. If you choose that, if that is your choice, if you really, really want fulfillment, joy, happiness, love, mutual fulfillment, interdependent, happy, healthy, wonderful relationships, you have the opportunity to make that happen starting now. So be gentle with yourself. Archangel Michael, please guide me in treating myself with gentle, nurturing love in everything I think, speak, and do. Help me to know that I deserve this compassion. I release any feelings of guilt to you so that I may experience inner lasting peace. Again, I release any feelings of guilt to you so that I may experience lasting peace. We can't go back and change what's already happened, but we can change what's coming in the future. So be gentle with yourself. All right. So your affirmation. First, we have independence. Independence. I embrace total independence, and I see how empowering that is. Even when I'm in a relationship, I can still be independent by meeting my own needs and creating my own happiness. That is another essential part to this. That's another ingredient here. Being independent by meeting our own needs and creating our own happiness. That is essential. When I do that, I'm the fullest version of myself, and I have much more me to give without needing pieces of me in return. That's exactly what we were talking about. That's exactly what we were talking about. Wow. Perfect. So yes. Beautiful. Also, I have here wants and needs. I take stock of my relationships, and I'm honest about what I want and need from the people in my life. We have to be clear about what it is that we want and need, because if we are not, we may accept something less than we signed up for, I note the difference between the two. Wants are negotiable, needs are not. Both may be desired, and either may be acquired, but that's getting into Venn diagram territory, and no one wants to draw one of those. Though some of us might need to. So it may be useful to think about your wants, your needs in life and in love, and be very clear about those things. And whatever it is that you can give and provide to yourself, start there. Start there. And it can be very useful to go back and look at these challenging relationships and look at, again, the thread, what it is that attracted you to that person, what it is that brought you together with that person, what made you stay, what, made you feel so strongly about them. And whatever it is, whatever that is, whether it feels attention, affection, somebody to call you or connect, whatever it is, work on giving that to yourself first, so you are in a healthier, more interdependent, manner when you go into your next situation. So, dear wonderful Aries, let's wrap up this reading. Intimacy is scary sometimes. It means you have to let someone else get to know the real you, not the perfect, flawless mask you wear for others. No, it's time to reveal the cool one, the passionate one, the imperfect one that is totally you without artifice or walls. So recognize the unicorn, the special person that you are, the uniqueness about you, what makes you, again, a high value partner. Yes, you will be exposed and vulnerable for a time, but it will be so worth it. This is the only way you will know true closeness with others, and you will also be close to spirit and to us. There's amazing freedom that comes when you let go and just be yourself with another or a group. Release from the invisible bindings that keep you from intimacy. So release from the invisible bindings that keep you from intimacy is truly empowering. One, this can be those walls, breaking down those walls. Also, this is speaking about whatever these blockages are that may even be unconscious. Sometimes we have to look in the shadow, aspects. If you guys are interested in looking in the shadow aspects of yourself or what may be causing blockages, book a reading with me. I will be happy to work with you on that, because it is so essential for us to know what is creating the blockages, because sometimes it's so internalized, we have no perception or no awareness of it until we really look into it and bring it out. And once we do, then we can work on it, shift things so we can bring about better outcomes. So again, yes, you'll be exposed and vulnerable for some time, but it will be so worth it. This is the only way you will know true closeness with others, and you will also be close to spirit and to us. There is amazing freedom that comes when you just let go and be yourself with another or a group. Release from the invisible bindings that keep you from intimacy is truly empowering. So may we support you wholeheartedly in this choice. You will know yourself better, and we hope learn to love yourself as much as we do. Life is about who we are with others, so share it. You will be so glad you did. Loving you so, so, so much. All right, Aries, so that's the reading that I have for you for the ending portion of August. Hope I was able to provide you all with useful guidance and messages. Thumbs up, like this reading if the messages resonate with you. Comment, share, subscribe to my channel if you have not done so already. Pretty soon I am going to be again doing some additional readings, some more readings, as well as talking about, you guys have been asking me about soulmates and twin flames and how to recognize soulmates and all that. So I'm very excited. I'm looking forward to speaking with you guys about that soon. So again, go ahead and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Also, if you'd like to book a private reading with me, you can do so through the description box. There are links to book a reading with me now. You can also book a reading at my website, powerlifehypnosis.com. You can also follow me on Instagram as well. Follow me at Power Life Hypnosis. You can also check me out on Instant Go if you have any quick questions, or you would like any quick guidance or anything like that, or if you want to know some about your shadow. So I love you all. Thank you so much. And I look very forward to seeing you here soon, Aries. Bye for now.